Hey, look, you made it. Thanks, and make sure you give yourself a like on this video and leave a comment underneath whenever I say something that you might agree or disagree with. Now let's go to the video.
The main problem, I think, is not even, actually it's self-awareness and inferiority complex. Because when I see you're doing well, I feel like I need to be in your space. And it's not only us, like very few individuals, no. There's something, all of us Africans have been taught, when someone goes at the top, you want to bring them down because we don't believe in networking. We don't believe in spreading our wings.
Hey, you made it! Give yourself a like. Bravo to you. Guess what you made it to? A brand new Simon Says episode right here on the Simon Says podcast. We're shooting right here at Twiva Studios. They are in Harlingen. Yes, you can come, Cause House, 3rd floor. You can walk right in and actually shoot your content and actually get content like just like this. Like what you're watching, you can make it right here with guys right here at Twiva Studios. Even you as a business person, you kind of need some really good content for your socials because you want to be relevant. You want even connected content creators. Yes, they got you. They're going to merge you really good with content creators, and you as a business person can get your content and your business and your product in front of the right people with the help of Twiva, and they're right here at Harlingen. So make sure you come on down, and someone who actually came on down to have a fruitful conversation. Her name is Maryben. This woman right here, she's top 30, under 30, top 35, under 35, top 40, she's top 50. You're top of everything. Jesus Christ. You're top of the world. You're top shelf.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed, you're top shelf. But let me ask you this. What title do you most resonate with?
Ambassador?
Ooh,
oh yes.
Ambassador of?
The Women Empowerment Ambassador across Africa, and also the Eastern Africa Ambassador for Global Startup.
Hey, but guys, don't get it twisted. Even Hakadima said, I'm just the Women Empowerment Ambassador. Wait, this, you have done things, my dear.
Yes.
Wait, and like even all of that, like, do the titles themselves, like, how do they mean like anything to you? Like when you say you actually connect so much to the ambassador one, why is that so?
Because I never thought I would get to that position. You see, when people underestimate you, you also underestimate yourself. So I was in that cocoon of, I can't amount to anything, but here I am.
Exactly, and there you are.
And I just love it.
And I love the fact that you brought in underestimating, because one thing I want to talk about today is actually how you have been underestimated, and yet how you have actually been able to shift that and use that as your strength. And you sense that because even just want to know, where do you think you are underestimated first and you felt like, here, I can sense, where? You cannot see my true worth.
Actually, it started in primary. And mine, not even in primary, even at home. You see, there's a way your family looks at you and they feel like, nah, this one is not that good enough. So it started way back. And then when I got into primary, I also had the same thing because I wasn't a good performer. And I'm always proud of that, actually.
You're proud of not being a good performer?
Yes.
How to ask who failed in school, high five? Wait,
wasn't a good
but I'm sure
performer.
your parents were not proud of that.
Actually, they were not. Every now and then they would complain, and I would tell them, you know, God knows why everything is happening this way. So you'd go to class, teachers would always know you're everlast. So it didn't bother me that much.
Pause, wait. You're the kind of student who actually, now you're walking back with your report form, with your what? With your D's, am I your what? Your C's?
The D's and a bit of E.
A bit of
Actually,
E.
I had an E in mathematics.
Ooh, excellent.
Yeah,
very
I had
good.
an E in
Excellence.
mathematics,
Pursuing excellence.
Yes.
That's the key thing. Now, when you say when you walk there with your report form, with your D's and E's, and you start telling your parents, you know, this is God's will. Wait.
What?
And
you know it's an African parent.
Yeah, so I'm like, how are they taking that information?
My mom would always be, I haven't bought myself any nice dress kwa sababu yako. I didn't go to the salon to wende shule. And then this is what you're giving me. And I'm like, it's okay. I'll pay it back. I'll pay it forward. Don't worry. And she's like, endelea tu hivyo. You know, shida yako ukitaka kufail, fail. Ukitaka kuperform, perform. And I was like, it's okay. You know.
What give you that confidence? Because that requires a great level of like self-confidence in yourself to even be still comfortable mentally at the same time. Here you are walking to your parents with your D's and E's, and you're like, what was that?
I think one part we've never realized is when you're young, there's always a way you understand where you want to be. you always have that dream that this is who I want to be, this is where I want to go. And I only had the confidence on who I want to be. I used to dream of being a nurse, either nurse or a manager or an entrepreneur. In fact, by that time, we didn't even know the term entrepreneur. So I used to say, I want to be a businesswoman. So when they would talk and talk and talk, and I'm very sorry to say this, sorry to anyone who is watching, I used to tell myself I'll be a businesswoman. I'll get someone who's good in maths. I'll get someone who is good in marketing. I'll get someone who's so good in strategy, and then I'll work with all of them.
And that's how young?
I was very young in primary.
Wow.
So I used to tell myself, it's okay, I don't have to be good in all this. Let me be good in what I want to be. I just said I want to be a businesswoman or a nurse. And I realized I can't be a nurse because I wasn't so good in science.
Yeah, I get you. Then all the thresholds goes even to like actually now limit you for even qualifying to be a nurse and everything. But even I'm just wondering, like, because that requires a great level of, that's wild, considering that even now you have to go to high school and you still maintain the same level.
Yes. And even in high school it was even worse because now I'm interacting with the best, you know the top 3 or the top A students, the one just to be associating with themselves. And then you're the D student. And I used to play hockey. And I remember my teachers would tell me, Maryben, the only thing you're good at is playing hockey. And I used to be a bit of bully. Just a little bit.
Oh, there's some child out there who's traumatized because of who you. Go ahead, yes.
I used to be a bit of bully, just a little bit.
It's okay. I
wouldn't want someone to just come up to my space because I've been traumatized in primary, being told the way I'm so stupid. And being that I didn't come from a wealthy family, I used to go to school at times, my dress had a kiraka and my shoes and all that. So I would just seclude myself. I didn't want to interact with people so much. And then you come to high school. I joined Form 1 very late, second term when guys were about to close school, but I was the best performer. Because I used to study in the house. My parents at that time didn't have money to take me to high school. And then the first year it was good. Second year I started deteriorating very bad because I'm trying to deal with all this from school, from home, from myself. You're in an adolescent stage. You don't even understand your body. You don't have a good relationship with your parents, with your school teachers.
Everybody's underestimating
you
and undermining you in so many ways.
And you're like, now who will I even talk to? So I had to use it to my advantage. So anyone who tried to come to my space, I would back. I became a she-wolf. So I would just, so...
You can't even
go
right now. Your girl is like, even I'm wondering, like, that's totally understandable, like, why you would even fight back, because a lot of people even underestimated you in so many ways. Now, even as you even transitioned, even after, like, even high school, even all that, because you turned to the bully in high school. All throughout. And that worked for you.
Completely.
And that worked because even able to finish, it's like, okay, I'm all good.
And I was even a tomboy. Playing rugby, ever just out there. I just needed my own space. I needed to have a voice. But I realized I cannot have a voice in the normal society. Let me just call it normal society or normal setup. So I had to just create my own setup so that I can be normal in it and I can feel good about myself.
Exactly. Even now as you even transition even to even like the job sphere, even in the work sphere, because even when you're saying people underestimate you, when you saw that people underestimating you, because you can reach a certain level where you're like, okay, now I'm starting to get to know myself and I'm starting to get a little bit more confident. When did it now started affecting you in a negative way?
Actually, it started affecting me after, can I say, when I just started working? Okay, when I said I didn't go to campus direct. So I cleared high school, then immediately I started working. I think it was 3 days after high school, I started working. And I started associating with everyone who's way older than me. And you'd get people tell you, you can't be good at this, you can't do this, you can't do that. You go to this person, you at least you want to learn and they're not giving you that chance. So I started believing what they were saying. I started believing literally what this person is saying. And then my mom was against me working at that time because I was being paid 7,000. So she felt like that is too peanut. But at least, you see, I needed to take myself through college. And I started withdrawing from people. Literally, I started withdrawing. And then I grew up in Kisumu. Being Kisumu is a very small town. You
Is
know,
it small?
It's small.
Kisumu,
Actually,
a lot of people in Kisumu will be like,
Kisumu is a very small town. Trust you me.
Okay.
When you're walking along Ogingodinga Street, everyone will know you. When you're walking up along,
It's a small community. Let's say people know each other.
It's just a small community. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And then now, if you're out there, you're doing marketing. I was actually a marketer, and I'm still a marketer by profession. Everyone now starts looking at you probably because now, you know, there's a way bankers dress, marketers dress. So they have this perception that this is just a prostitute, this is doing this is doing that, she's doing this, she's doing that. That is where my problem now began also. Everyone used to have a whole different story about Maryben. You'd get someone, this person is talking about Maryben. My nickname is Princess, so this person is describing Princess, yes.
Hey, there you go. Okay.
This person is describing Princess and is describing Princess to you. And you're like, oh, so this is what people think about me. And this person doesn't even know you.
that it's you.
Yes.
Oh, so people talking about you, but they don't even. Oh, that's good.
And I'm
you
like,
gossipers out there, we know you.
And I'm like, do you know that I'm the person?
And I get that because even when you transition to the work sphere, and now here it is, the first instance in which you felt like someone was undermining you in the work sphere was what? What happened?
Actually, I was selling scratch cards and selling LG phones by that time. I was hawking, let me say that.
There you go.
Let me not give it a good name. I was hawking. I've been a roadshow dancer.
No way!
Yes.
Hey, that's the girls in the track! That was you! There you go!
I've been a roadshow dancer. So I remember when I used to do the roadshow dancing, I would put my cap till here, and I was doing my hair that time. So I didn't want anyone to know it's me. And you know, being a pastor's kid and you're dancing.
Oh, I'm also a pastor's kid.
So you can
what
imagine.
Happens to us,
I'm telling you, guys are now judging you, and you just want your 500 per day. You know. So I was putting my cap here, but when I was selling those scratch cards, I remember I would go sell them in Juakali, we were just hawking, and men would tell me someone would tell me, the way you're this beautiful and you're selling scratch cards, come I marry you. It seems you're suffering. And I'm just like, no, I just want to take myself through
This was mainly from men. That was,
yeah.
So undermining you in the sense that they see that the work that you're doing is
not even worth it.
Now, how did you now reconcile with, like, when you heard that, how were you reconciling with that mentally?
I just used to focus on my dream. My dream is to be a businesswoman.
That was the dream?
Yes, that was just the dream. So I would just focus on it. I remember even in high school, when teachers were asking me, what do you want to be? I would say, I want to be a businesswoman. When they were voting for people who are likely to succeed, I was being voted for people who are unlikely to succeed. Yeah. So
shock on them.
Actually, shock on them right now.
Exactly.
Shock on them. So I was like, okay. And one thing that was so constant was that I used to tell myself, Maryben, you're the problem, because home, from me growing up, I was the problem. High school, I am the problem. Primary, I am the problem.
This is now you
Workspace,
right now.
Workplace, I am the problem. And I'm like, is there anything good that can come out of you? And I'm like, nah, it's okay. Let's just try. I used to tell myself, let's just try. And I would tell myself, at some point I told myself, you know what? At least wesusurambaya sana, so you'll get someone who can marry you. So, you know, I would console myself like that.
How young were you?
I was, I think, early 20s.
Early 20s?
Yes.
And this is a time where you're actually trying to structure your ego. Usually at that time, even like you don't know where you're at, and that this is now so you used to do a lot of talking to yourself. Were you like, you're not even like looking for other sources for even you to, just you talking to yourself, that's it, in your own
zone. And I
zone.
still do it so much. I used to love just talking to myself. And I would speak negativity. But
negativity? What do you mean?
Yes, I would talk negativity to myself because you see,
why?
Because you've been in a negative environment, so you don't see anything good with yourself, and that is one problem we all go through, or a few of us go through. When you build your life around a negative environment, the negative cocoons just comes around you. You stick into it.
Because you start actually envisioning basically what it is that you're
This is what you're told. Now, the negativity becomes your reality.
Like some of those things you were saying.
I would tell myself, like, I'm not even good at anything I'm doing. I'm just pathetic. And trust you me, I was. Actually, I would see myself to be so pathetic.
Looking back, those negative things that you're telling yourself, were they in a way to console yourself, like indeed, like you're like okay, this is not yes, I am this way, so hence even anything the bad that happens to me is okay.
It's okay. Actually, it was just a consolation. It's okay. When something happens negative, I'm like, it's okay. When someone takes advantage of me, I'm like, it's okay. You know, I used to feel like I deserve all the wrong things that are happening. So it was just me.
And that makes it easier for you to handle all those bad things that actually even happen to you, because you actually feel like you deserve them. That's very interesting, because even when you even put it that way, with like now you're shaping this negative mindset because you've been undermined all this time. Now, what did it shift?
Actually, it shifted not long ago in 2019, and
that recent.
Yes.
So what are you doing all this time?
Let me tell you. I tried getting into employment, and things were not even working. I used to change employment every year, on a yearly basis.
Why?
Because I felt congested in the other environment. You know, like when...
so you're the one quitting?
Yes. Actually, I was very lucky to be getting jobs, because there's one thing that happens. When you don't believe in yourself, and other people don't believe in yourself, you feel like a scum. So when something good is about to happen to you, you feel like these people will know. They will know I'm not so good enough. So what do you do?
Imposter.
Yeah, actually the imposter syndrome. So what do? You run away. So I used to run away. Every year I would change my job. Every year. So I worked for Safaricom, Multi-Choice, I&M Bank, KN Associates. I worked for
and these are all companies that people would kill an arm and a leg for to work.
Yeah, I was actually quitting every December. I would change. I would just, by the time when we get to September, October, I start looking for another job.
Wow.
Yeah, because I felt like these people will just know. They'll find out that I'm an imposter. I'm just trying to be someone I'm not. And like 2015, I got fired.
Ooh, how'd that feel?
It was so bad. It was the first time I got fired.
What did you do?
Nothing. Actually, nothing.
You did nothing.
Literally nothing. I remember this lady coming to me and tells me that, Mary, you will not survive here. And I'm like, why? And she said, it's not for people like you. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, it's not for your tribes people. It's not for your tribesmen. And I'm like, but I have no problem with you guys. In fact, my closest friend is from your tribe. And I don't see any issue. And it actually then contributed to more depression, because in 2012, I got dumped by someone from the same tribe. And he said, my family will not accept you.
Oh, I get you.
And I'm like, okay. So at this time in 2015, now the whole ceiling came down, because I was like, Maryben, you can't achieve anything. You are a poor performer in school.
This is you now self-reflecting again.
You are a very poor performer in school. You've been fired because your tribe. You were dumped because of your tribe. Literally, there's nothing good about you. So I met someone, and I felt like he was my entire world, because I had moved to Nairobi in 2013, no family members, no nothing. So I was that desperate for closure and just family. So I felt like this person has become my family. And things were okay until later he stopped being a family. He started becoming violent, abusive, and I got into so much depression.
I guess even when you mentioned, I'm glad when you brought in about relationship aspect of things, when it comes to now undermining itself within a relationship context, how has that been like for you? Like, have you seen, because at times you have actually been able to use, now you've been able to even see that, okay, you undermining me, but I'm able to use that as a powerful thing. Before even we got to the powerful thing aspect of things, how did you feel undermined within the relationship context?
When the person used to tell me that I'm just stupid, I'm good for nothing, and they're out there, they're very beautiful ladies, beautiful than me, more classier, they have nice cars, and he's the only person who can marry me. Nobody else can marry me. So I used to believe yes.
So these were things that you're being told, not the first month, I'm sure.
No.
Actually, around which month?
After 3 years.
What? Okay, after 3 years, that's when the flip happens.
After 3 years.
You started
and
out.
Actually, yes, I did. Do you know what happens? What happens to people like me, or rather to people like the Maryben back then? You don't believe in yourself, and then you start having self-pity, and you just feel like this person is my lifesaver. This person is the one who can accept me. This person is the one who can love me. We literally hate ourselves. So we are surviving at the mercies of other people. So that's why I stayed, because I felt like still he's the only person who deserves
You can
me.
actually, and because you're beating yourself up with so much negative talk. We'll take a cookie first of all, and I tell you guys first of all that indeed we are indeed here shooting at Twiva Studios. You can actually visit the website twiva.com. Visit the website and actually check them out, because they can actually even help you create great content like you're watching right here. And you as a business person, you can actually even create good content for your business or even your personal brand. You as a content creator, you can come down here and actually create good content with the guys on the other side of the camera, but you can't see them because you're not here. So get your butt down here or even visit them at twiva.com. So make sure you do that. And so you've taken that cookie and that breather. Wow. So you've been through, because doing all that undermining that you've been through, even when it comes to relationship context, now I want to know, flipping it, how are you able to see being undermined as a source of strength? Like, for example, in a sense that you have, okay, so people have like, you have, first of all, you used to undermine yourself as a way to block and everything. But at the same time now, when the people start undermining you, how are you able to now take that and turn that into a strength?
Actually, there's something I came to learn about being undermined. I built a wall around me of just accepting it, you know, just playing along. I started just playing along with everything, what people think. Because when I registered my company in 2017, things didn't work out the way I expected, because I lost some cash in 2018. And I remembered now I needed to try it again. And a lot of people told me, actually my close, I won't call them close friends because they were just friends. They would tell me, you cannot survive in Nairobi. You can't amount to anything in Nairobi. If you want to do this business, just move back. Don't even go to Kisumu. Go to some rural areas and start there. Grow from it, then come back. And
which is now your cleaning business.
Yeah, the cleaning business and pest control. And then I remembered, I even spoke to my elder brother. He's the one who gave me even the money to register the company. So I told him, you know, a lot of people are telling me to move back to Kisumu or somewhere else. And one thing it stood out, he said, don't. Do it in Nairobi. It will become easy for someone to trust you knowing that the head office is in Nairobi. Unlike someone trusting you knowing the head office is in Kitale or Kakamega or even Kisumu. So just I actually used to say, sister, just try. And I told myself, okay. And I sat down and I started reflecting each and every word people said. In that process of depression, I also met my mentor. He has been my mentor since 2019. And I remembered he started telling me, do you know how great you are? And I sat down and I was like, this guy doesn't know me. He doesn't know everything I've been through, and he doesn't even care about what I've been through. All he just sees, he sees I'm great. He looks at the ideas I had and he's like, these are giant, these are massive ideas in the market, and we are going to build from it. And he was the source of my inspiration, because you meet a stranger, someone who doesn't know you, and he starts speaking life. And it literally accelerated my healing process.
Because that was something totally different that you had never experienced in the past.
Exactly. You can imagine someone telling you you're great. I'm proud of you. And that is something that I never used to hear. I never used to hear people telling me I'm proud of you. So I for a moment there again, I felt like a scam, like he's proud of me, like now. So I started sitting down and reflecting back. And I said, okay, all these people don't believe I can make it. So meaning they have no expectations towards me. So I started building an expectation for myself.
Regardless of others.
Regardless of others. I literally went back to my vision that when I was young, that I want to be a businesswoman. And I was like, it's okay. I don't have to learn everything. Let me get other people who are good at it. So I said, I'm going to disrupt the market. He used to tell me, do you know you can be the next Oprah? Do you know you can be the next James, or for Equity, James Mwangi? And I used to ask him how. He was like, just believe. You see, everyone else is against you. Nobody believes in you. Believe in yourself. So I would go out, just sit with someone, and this person would be so negative about me. You can't do this, you can't do that. And I would listen, and I would build my strength from the negativity.
In a sense that, how are you, like for example, here I am saying, you can't do this. You cannot, whatever, you cannot actually be able, this business is going to fail in the next 6 months. So what are you telling yourself when you hear that and someone is across from you doing business?
Actually, I would tell myself, no, he feels I cannot do it. It's not my feeling. It's actually his feeling. It's actually Simon's feelings, not Maryben's feeling. And I would ask myself, what is the negative or positive about it? The fact that he feels that I can't do it, it means I can't do it. So I would tell myself, I would actually join it, and I'm like, yeah, I would play along, and I'm like, yeah, I can't. But I would go sit down and start analyzing. In fact, I'll even steal points from all the points you said.
Because you also said some things that you cannot do, but in fact you're saying, why can't I do that?
Exactly.
So did it come from a place of, I'm going to prove you wrong? Or where is it coming from?
At some point, this one I'll be very honest, I've never even spoke about it. I was sharing it with someone yesterday, and I was telling the person, the first award I got was to prove someone wrong. I remembered I saw this lady. She was a lady that my ex had cheated on, and told me that she's much more better than me and everything. So I went and started studying about her, looking at what she was doing and everything. And I felt so bad, you know. I felt so bad. And that is something that people should not even do. You know, I actually went ahead and checked. And I felt so bad, and I was like, oh my goodness. And she was way younger than me. I was like, she's doing a lot. Just look at myself. And I was like, yeah, he was right. I can't even amount to all this. But I said, nah, I'll prove him wrong. I'll prove the whole world wrong. So I started working on myself with the mindset that I want to prove people wrong. But not the mindset that I want to make it better for myself. And after I got my first award, it felt nice, but I was like, wait a minute.
But now here's the thing, did they even see it?
I don't even know, but actually I think they heard about it. Yes, they did.
Hey,
they actually did.
They got
actually
to know.
Because you know, I didn't even publicize myself. You know, the media will always do you justice. That is the sweetest part about media. So I was like, the media did justice for me. But I took a step back and I asked myself, am I doing it for somebody else, or want to do it for myself? For a moment it felt nice, but I said no. What if I do all these things for myself? Because everyone said I cannot do it. Everyone thought I cannot amount to anything. So they don't have any expectation. My family doesn't have expectations. My friend doesn't have expectations. The only way to go is up. So the only way to go is up.
And then now, when it comes to now on the business side of things, because right now you're involved in the business, you of course doing so many deals, you're doing many proposals, you're meeting so many people. Now the question I would ask you is this: where have you seen that it's more painful to get undermined from? Women or men usually when it comes to business?
Actually women.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's actually more painful to be undermined by your fellow woman. You see, this is someone who's supposed to support you. We are supposed to pull each other up and not down. Men, when a man wants to pull it down, it's okay. I always say, there's one thing about men, it's the masculinity area. And a man, by nature, he has been created to be at the top, by nature. And if this guy feels like somebody else, so a woman wants to take his position, there's always that defensive mechanism they build, which is okay. Which is okay. In fact, that is one area I always tell men. It's expected. Yes, know yourself, know thyself, stand up for yourself. But here you are, you're trying to climb the ladder. You expect this woman to push you up, so you get up and pull her up, but this woman is pulling you down. Every single day. I remember when I won the top 40 under 40, someone posted my photo on a women group on Facebook to congratulate me. And the first comment I saw, the lady sent me a screenshot. I didn't even know. She sent me a screenshot. And the first comment was, tell her to comb her hair. And I'm like, you know, for a moment I stopped and I was like, is there a problem with my hair? I was like, is there a problem with my hair? And the next comment was like, she's too fat. And I'm like, you guys don't know me. You can't even say congratulations. It's just negativity.
How did that make you feel?
I didn't even feel bad because I was coming from depression for 6 years and I'm just healing, or rather I've just healed, and I'm starting to feel good about myself. And I was like, really? Really now? You don't even know me. This is the first thing you've just noticed? Not even saying congratulations for winning top 40 under 40 Africa under women empowerment. Literally, I'm trying to create an environment, a safe space where all of us women get the opportunity to speak our voices. And the first thing you notice is my hair, and I'm fat. Really?
Well,
I was like, nah.
But okay. Now you know, you probably expect that.
Yeah, I was
nowadays
like, it's okay.
But
it's
now,
okay.
yeah, because even when you, of course, when you start winning awards, even that can actually, that backlash is expected a
It's
lot.
expected, yeah.
But then it was more painful when it comes from a woman.
When it came from a woman, it was more painful. I was like, really? Really? Like, we are supposed to do this for ourselves. We're supposed to create an environment whereby, a safe space whereby a woman can support a woman. But like they always say, I always tell people, I don't fear a man. I fear that woman with a red lipstick. Because that lady can bring you down. Literally.
Have you seen in any way that has that happened to you? Is like strategically, like has there anybody really like tried to like bring you down realistically?
Yes.
I mean, just the comments here and there.
No.
That's it.
Yes, I have seen that. The main problem, I think, is not even, actually it's self-awareness and inferiority complex. Because when I see you're doing well, I feel like I need to be in your space. And it's not only us, like very few individuals, no. There's something, all of us Africans have been taught, when someone goes at the top, you want to bring them down because we don't believe in networking. We don't believe in spreading our wings. We don't believe that now that Simon has a podcast and video, perhaps he can do marketing for me. He can do my advertising. I just feel like, no, he has to come down. I need to be there. We don't believe in giving each other a chance. We believe in fighting. That is our mindset as Africans. We've been programmed to fight each other, not to support each other. And it's so scary. It's way scary.
Yeah, because that leads to people being very combative. And even one thing, I just want to know and understand, when it comes to now you being still sticking on the undermining thing, there's a way you can actually use it when you can clearly see that this guy or this person on this other end clearly sees themselves as better. But in fact, they're not. And you know it. Because they probably don't know your accolades and they don't know. Because she's like a puny little thing. People will actually... so people will undermine you even based on your height. People will be like, oh, Toto. Exactly. It's that case. And the thing is, when you're actually able to see that, have you been able, like now, based on the fact that someone has already come in thinking that they're better than you, how have you been able to now maneuver that scenario to your advantage?
Actually, what I normally do, I love it when I'm undermined. Even when you go for business meetings and I show up, they expect the Green Seal CEO to be someone way big, old and all that. I just walk into the room, quiet, sit down. They're talking and talking. And you know, they let their guards down knowing that this girl can do anything. So they don't have any expectation. And that is when you outdo yourself. You go sit down and write the best plan that it's going to transform the entire world. I always say, for me, I want to transform the entire world. I don't want to be average. I was never created to be average. I was only average in school. So right now, I don't want to be average. So
there you go.
Exactly.
Talk that talk.
I don't want to be average. Never. In fact, I tell people, we have two different kind of lives. There are those who are surviving and there are those who are living. I want to be among the living. I don't want to be among the surviving. No.
And
I survived.
And how are you moving to make sure that you're not that you're above average?
Actually, every single day I upskill myself. Every single day. You see, we as human beings live in our comfort zone, and stepping out of your comfort zone is so painful. I hated reading. I didn't love reading. You get me with a book, it wasn't my cup of coffee.
But nowadays you read?
So much.
More than Facebook posts, even
Yes.
LinkedIn posts?
Yes, so much. So much. I give myself every day 2 hours to read.
To make sure that you actually grow.
I'm very active. And anytime I get a short course, I'm always there. I'm doing it. You know why I do that?
Why?
So that when I get into an interview or we're applying for a job or we're applying for something, let my credentials speak for me, not my position as a woman.
Exactly.
I tell ladies, before you view yourself as a woman, view yourself as a human being.
Why?
Because why should I get a position because I'm just a woman? It means you don't believe in my strength. You don't believe in my credentials. So I always say, don't give me something because I'm a woman. Give it to me because you feel and believe that I'm capable of doing that.
Exactly. I love even the way you broke it down. Even as we wrap up, one thing I just want to ask you this. When it comes to your journey, like you've made a lot of mistakes here and there. And I just want to know, looking back, what is one mistake that you made in your past that you're actually kind of proud of?
Staying in a violent relationship.
You're proud that you stayed in a violent
I did.
relationship?
Do you know why I'm proud of that? A lot of people ask me if I regret it. I don't regret it because being there gave me the best of me. You see, I was undermined in it, and I felt like this is where I need to be. And when somebody else tells me they're in this relationship because of this and this, I would have judged them. I remember there are times I would give people relationship advice. No, you're the one on the wrong. You're the one who did this. You're the one. I had to go through it to know at times it's not all about you. It's the environment you're in at. So I don't judge people. I had a miscarriage. I remember the society judges single mothers harshly. And I told myself I'm going to stand to be a voice for the vulnerable single mothers. Every single day, I'm actually setting up a foundation for just the vulnerable single mothers. I wouldn't have understood their pain. And one thing I tell people is when you go through a situation, no matter how hard it is, what is it that you need to learn from it? Most times we look at ourselves as the victim in that situation.
Yeah, victimhood is a
But
big
we don't look at what do I need to learn. Probably you've gone out. I was very broke. My house was always being locked. And if someone tells me he or she is paying her house rent 3,500, I would judge them. I'm like, really, 3,500 and you can't raise it? But I was in that situation. I was sleeping outside. My house was ever being locked. So all these things, all these mistakes I made, they were not just mistakes, they were a learning process for me, so that I'll be able to understand and relate with somebody else. I don't judge them. I know this is what you're going through. I have been there. I understand it. How are you going to walk out of it?
Exactly.
Someone tells me they're depressed, they're about to commit suicide. I don't judge them. I don't gossip. I sit down with them, buy them coffee, we talk, look for a solution, because I have been there. Someone tells me I'm a single mom, I can't feed my child, all this and that, and I'll be like, okay, how do you want us to solve this? Someone tells me, you know what, I'm in a violent relationship. I don't see myself walking out of it. I can't live without this person. And I'm like, hell no. That's what you believe in. That's what you've built your life around. Because this person has told you you can't live without them. No. I was there before, and here I am, and I'm so proud of where I am. Every single day, I had to learn from the pain.
Learning from your pain, even
Yes.
even those instances with which you're undermined.
Yes.
That's Maryben right there. Punchline on punchline. Where so you would know how to like get it all out. Thank you so much, but I really appreciate it. But you guys, make sure you actually follow her on LinkedIn. She has over 30,000 followers on LinkedIn, by the way. Do you know that?
Actually, right now I'm at 36.
Yeah, actually 38 something. I think so. Yes, last time I checked. And you make sure you actually follow her, because indeed she is indeed someone you can actually even follow suit on. Even, hey, you have a very interesting story, and at the same time, her work ethic and what she's doing, amazing things. More words to come, by the way.
Yes.
Most definitely.
Oh, yes.
Most definitely.
I think I need 100.
Hey, wow, the humility is not even here. Undermining yourself for who nowadays? Thank you guys so much. I appreciate your eyeballs and I appreciate your time. And I want to remind you once again that indeed we are shooting this episode right here at Twiva Studios. They are in Hurlingham, 3rd floor, Costa House. Make sure you come on down and create great content with these guys, because they're here to help you out. Why are you not taking advantage of this? Check out their website, twiva.com. And from me, Simon says, talk up, I see you go now. See you, okay, why are you here? I'll see you guys, okay? Bye-bye. Good job, Wewe. Hey, you went out here on the storytelling side of things. Hey.